I am the
that's
worst
totally
at sarcasm
normal.
ever.
You're the worst
I'm
at
the worst.
everything. Welcome to Babetalk, everybody. We're going live because I'm saying so.
My heart
Whoa.
just broke a little bit.
Did it? I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get over it.
Maybe.
You know what? Go write a letter to Abraham Lincoln. He may be able to help you get over your sorrow.
He'll resurrect from the dead, and then he'll like.
Today. God damn.
Ollie's not messing around with shit today.
I am not. No, I'm done messing around with shit. So anyway, hey guys, what's going on? We have Matt of Salitter here.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? How's it hanging today?
Oh, it's slightly to the left.
There we go. That's the answer I'm looking for. You get 10 points. Melissa,
All
how are you
right,
doing
cool.
today?
I thought that was gonna be crickets. All right, good.
Crickets? No. I mean, like I'm good for a dig joke every here and there. You know?
If I said it, it would have been crickets.
All right.
Yeah.
Just
If this was last year, there would be about 50 dick jokes in it, but we're trying to tone them down a little bit. They're still gonna happen. Don't worry.
All right, now that leads me to ask, like, was there a point in
still
time in
trying to
which
tweet.
someone just said, like, hey, we need to tone down on the dick jokes?
No one from out in the
Okay.
band decision of like, we need to like take ourselves more seriously if we want to be an actual like serious band, because we all love what we do. We want to try and do this for as long as we can, and if we're just like, you know, those idiots that put ourselves down on stage, even though humility is cool and having an ego is wrong, if you're just putting yourself down all the time, it's not good. So we've been trying to really, you know, take ourselves more seriously, which is yielding some pretty good results so far.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that's it's yielding some great results. However, you came on the wrong podcast to be really serious on.
Oh,
So yeah.
don't worry. All right, so most of it is the other two guys. I like to have as much fun as possible. They're gonna get really mad at me. I thought Dan was like, Matt, I can't do the interview. Can you do the interview? And I'm like, yeah, but you know you're trusting me with a microphone in front of my face, saying things to the world representing our band. He's like, yeah, I know, but we need you to do it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much James every time I get in front of the keyboard. Just like at any time. Like he will sense that I'm near a keyboard at some point, and he'd be like, send me a text which is like, Ollie, don't. I can feel you starting to write a status about something.
How many times have I talked you down from like putting people on blast?
Oh man, there wouldn't be a brand anymore if it wasn't for James. So Matt, you and I are gonna have a pretty good rap tonight.
I'm down.
We're gonna throw each other's brands tonight together.
I
How
have
about
my
All right.
Ollie's and Jesus Mats ready to go.
What was that?
Whenever
You're really
Ollie
helpful still.
says dumb shit, I say Jesus Ollie.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, see, you know what? Here's a goal in 2016. What's gonna happen is that we're gonna have a I don't know. We'll pick a charity, and every time that James says like Jesus Ollie, I'll actually donate $1 to like whatever charity like we'll pick, and then like Babetalk will match it or some shit along the lines of that. So
That's a good idea.
Donate it to the Salitter T-shirt fund because we are all currently too poor to buy new T-shirts.
there we go. Hashtag touring band life.
Perfect.
Hashtag local band life.
Hashtag local band life. So to progress with the rest of the show tonight, as everyone heard, we have James Boss on the show. We got my co-host Melissa here tonight,
Hello.
and I am the beautiful Black Disaster Ollie. And let's just start this week's show. Each week we ask our panelists how their week was, and this week I'll start with Melissa. If I say one more time, someone just like mute me.
You're good, man. Well, if you can't tell by what's in my hand how my week has been going.
You have like a mom wine glass in your hand.
It's cute. It says "Brunettes do it better." It's cute.
It's also wrong.
Wait, leave me alone. Hey! No.
See, I'm glad that like I'm not the only one that has to like take digs at Melissa.
Oh, I don't
I'm gonna
even
be
know
shit
her.
on so hard.
I don't even know
Nah,
you.
man. You're
I'm
good.
usually not this bad with people I don't know, so I'll try not to be.
You're all good. What usually happens is Ollie will start like dissing me, and then the guest will like start dissing me as well and
It
gang up
sets the
on me.
precedence. It like sets the precedence for the rest of the episode. So I do apologize
It
that
really
now you're
does.
just gonna be the punching bag for the rest of the
I
podcast for
had a
tonight.
feeling. It hasn't
But
happened in a while, so I mean, what goes around comes around, I guess.
sure, we'll go with that. So
But-
anyway, so what happened during the week that you ended up having to get a mom glass of wine out?
So, on Saturday, I was working at the two venues that I do shows for, and they're like 15 minutes apart, like, but they're freeway apart. So, my car started misfiring, and it like really scared me. So my boss checked it out, and he's just like, okay, just like looks like spark plugs, you'll be fine. So I went a couple days, probably the worst, not a good idea. But and then on Tuesday, I was a runner for one of the shows, and so I was driving obviously around a lot, and so I get on the freeway and my car starts misfiring again, and I'm like a half a block away from the venue, and the venue is not like in the best place. It's very in like a desolate, sketchy city, and
So
it
there are black people
goes.
around. It's okay. You can just say it.
It's no, it's like isolated basically.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. There's like absolutely like barely anybody there. And it's like chugging and chugging and chugging, and it can barely go 20 miles an hour. So we put it in the shop, and it's a hot mess. So I got my car back today. I'm back in my own apartment. So
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're at least safe. So that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
What show
You
were you
got
running
your
for?
car.
My bad.
what?
I was gonna ask you. You managed to get your car home?
Yes. Well, we from the venue, I had it towed, and then I drove with the tow, and then I went over to I've been at my parents' house for the past 2 days, so yeah. But I'm back.
Well, I mean, did you at least have a fun time at the show?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I have a lot of fun when I'm running. It's very high energy, very high chaos, which is what I really like. So
Well, there you go.
yeah.
That's very good. James,
Yeah.
I kind of know where your week's been at with finals and stuff, but I mean, like, how you holding up there, buddy?
Actually, really monumental week for me. Actually, I came out as a bisexual publicly for the first time ever this week.
Oh yeah.
So
Yay!
that was a huge moment for me.
Very cool.
Very something I never thought I was ever going to be able to do. So it's like really surreal that I can just be kind of open with it now. Thank God.
I mean, that's kind of like, you know, one thing, like, you don't have to have weight on your conscience anymore to some extent.
Yeah, like I'm a lot happier now. Now that I can I got a few messages like being like, "Really, you? I did not expect that." And then I don't know. It's just been a really cool week. It's weird. It's like really starting to settle in now that I don't have to like be in constant fear of someone finding out about my sexuality. Which is really
Yeah, dude. Good
There
for
you
you.
go.
thank you.
I know a
yeah,
couple people that are still trying to get to that point, and I see them struggling with it, and I'm just like, I want to help you, but it's really something you need to do yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It took me about 6 years to get to the point where I can actually come out.
Good for you, man. Really.
Thank you. Well, yeah. Besides that, what was you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna, like, you know, continue on, but
Yeah, but other than that, I've been contacting that with our finals, and I'm ready to stay in my final. I only have one final left, thankfully, but it's still a struggle, and I still hate everything. But pretty good week overall, I think. I don't know.
well, you know, it's still we have tomorrow to go through, so we'll see like how tomorrow goes, and then we'll give like an overall report card on how the week went.
Yeah, tomorrow's my last final, and then I have a 4-hour drive home with my dad, so that should be
Oh, sick.
Oh yeah.
So it's either you get to celebrate like doing really well in the final, or you get like 4 hours of just like you know, tearing yourself down.
That's
Just like putting
what
up like
happened
really.
That's what happened my first semester. My dad got all my grades in the car, and he checked his email in traffic, and he just started yelling at me for failing all my classes.
Oh,
Oh.
And
Oh.
we had to go to Jersey for a detour, so that's how far away from home I was.
Oh God, that's like a good like 4 hours out of the way too.
Yeah, not a fun time. But hopefully
Well,
it won't be like that tomorrow.
yeah, I'm praying for you. Like I'm gonna say an actual prayer too, like spaghetti monster, to make sure that you end up like okay.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
I
I
got you.
appreciate you. You're
I
smart.
appreciate you.
Very smart. You
I'm gonna say a prayer and then give another one. All right, that's all the DJ Khaled means for one night,
Another.
guys. Don't turn the channel just yet. Matthew,
what up?
what's going on, man? How are you tonight?
I am exhausted.
Oh,
I-
that's an emotion.
I just got off my 11-hour retail shift like a week from Christmas, so it was kind of nuts. And I'm just tired, and I'm like, wasn't sure what was happening with this, because Dan was like, oh, you need to go do this, and I'm like, okay,
Okay.
now, what do I do?
We'll just do a thing and we'll see what happens.
But honestly, I have absolutely no problem with this. I actually had a degree in journalism, so I know how to do interviews, I guess.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
great because I don't. So it's gonna
Awesome.
be like a learning lesson, like all together.
Oh no, I have a degree in journalism. It doesn't mean I know what I'm doing at all.
Got you. So
But-
like just like all the rest of the millenniums that go to school, they're just like I have a degree in this, but I don't know what the bumfuck I'm doing. Hey, what's
Oh
going
yeah, you betcha. That's right on.
on? So where do you work? Where's your retail position at?
It's at Guitar Center.
Not
Yep.
too shabby. Not too shabby.
No, it's not. And I get nice discounts. I just bought some flashy new stuff, a new interface, a new mics, so I can do acoustic covers. So be on the lookout for stuff like that. I also have been making some demos to send to the other guys in the band who don't listen to them. Hashtag pew pew. I'm looking at you guys. They're not
Wow,
even gonna
damn,
watch this.
shots.
They're not even gonna watch.
They're not even gonna watch. Because that's exactly how the band should work. Be like, yeah, I want an interview. We'll take your word that you did well.
Yeah. No,
But
Dan will
that's
probably
pretty
watch
good.
it.
Now, like, have you only done retail during the holiday, or like, are you like a seasoned retail professional?
No, I started in August. This was my first ever retail job, and it is slowly draining my soul. Like every time I yawn in front of a customer, I feel like it's just the corporation pulling my soul out through my mouth.
That's a pretty good analogy. That's actually exactly what does end up happening. So you've now become
Oh.
self-aware.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So at
So,
what
like,
point
you
do I
put-
become Skynet?
Probably within the next month, when you say like, "Whoa, benefits," that's
No.
when you know that they like sucked you in.
Nope. Washing my hands. I'm washing my hands of this whole thing. I'm getting up. I'd be walking away if my headphones weren't on my head and tethered to my interface.
Well, that's
yeah,
fun. I
I
mean,
mean- So it's just been a lot of work lately, just because of the holiday season. But you know what? We get through it. It makes us stronger. Makes the show that we're about to play tomorrow that much more worth it.
oh man,
very
we will go
excited.
into that.
I'm
I
very
am
excited.
so excited to talk about this show because I know that you guys are hella stoked on it, especially with
Oh.
where you guys are at right now.
Yeah,
But
we'll get to
Before
it.
we
Don't
get-
worry.
we will get to that because that is some hella stoked shit.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, let's keep it light. Do you have any fun retail stories? Because I've actually worked retail for far too long, and I know that at some point someone's bound to have a story.
Nothing comes to mind because just there's so many. But my favorite is just when people come in and they say, "Hey, so I'm gonna buy this." I'm like, "Okay, cool. So it's this much," and they're like, "All right, can I get a discount?" I'm like, "What for?" I mean, I don't really have that power, and they're like, "Oh, well, I spend a lot of money here." I'm like,
It's like, oh,
Okay.
excuse me.
I'm like, oh, all right, and they're like, "So can I have a discount?" I'm like, "Based on what?" And that's just, and you would be so surprised how often it happens, and it tears apart my day when I have to do that, and I have to tell someone, "No, you can't. I'm sorry." My default is usually, "I can get my manager for you."
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Being able to get your manager is like the world's best thing. Like, I've
It
worked
is.
many retail positions. I've worked at Macy's. I've worked at Hot Topic. And no matter where I work, that's like the easiest out you can ever give. They can be
Yep.
like, hi, how are you today? Be like, I can go get my manager. And you can.
Yep. And then they're just like, the manager's like, no, I can't do that. Actually, no, that might be one of my managers. The other one is just like, he's the nicest guy ever, and he just doesn't make enemies. But I don't know. So it's hard to complain because both my bosses are really cool, and they always, come cover for me when I have like a customer that I just want to strangle. And then I'll go back in the warehouse and punt a couple boxes, and it's all good. Come back out refreshed.
There you go. See, and it's good. Like, the stress release is a very vital thing to working retail. Now, James, Melissa, I don't know if you guys have worked retail before. Do you guys, like, have any experience in that realm?
I have experience with shitty jobs. That's what you're asking.
Oh.
Not
Yeah.
exactly retail, really, but yeah.
Let's hear it.
Do I go in or do I like pass?
Oh, go in. Who? What?
Do it.
I just
There will
went
be
in.
0 bosses looking in on this episode right now.
Okay, cool. At my first job, I worked at Cargo. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is.
Mhm.
Nope.
It's an ice cream chain that's kind of popular in New York.
Okay.
And I worked there, but my boss didn't speak English, sadly. So it led to a lot of times where I would ask her questions, and like she would tell me to do something, I'll be like, okay, and then she would be like, no, okay, do. Like she would yell at me for saying okay in response to her giving me the instructions.
Okay.
Yeah, language barrier is definitely something I have to deal with at my job.
That's like not her fault at all. Like
No.
props to her, but like the notable story that came from it was there was this dude. It was like my second day on the job, and he was like this scummy businessman type dude. And like I messed up his order, so he like freaked out on me for messing up the order or whatever. And then all of a sudden, like he turns to my boss and starts imitating her accent, and he's like,
Oh, man.
Go to
Shit.
we go to Baskin Robbins next time," and like. I've never seen so much anger in someone's eyes, and he actually got a little bit.
Oh my god.
That's awful. I'll never really understand the individuals that like have such a like shitty demeanor that they need to like I understand like vent. Well, no, I don't understand like venting your anger and like screaming at someone. But like when it comes to the point at which you're like demeaning them by their accent, it's not gonna get you anywhere. Like
No.
they're just like mentally they're getting off to it. And it's just like I guess if you need to do that, dude, then go right ahead. Especially when it comes to ice cream, like you did say Baskin Robbins, right? Like this was all like based off of a food.
Yeah, like it was fucking ice cream.
Like
That's ridiculous.
incredible.
My theory is that if you start to make fun of somebody for like the way that they say something or like just any aesthetic or just making fun of them personally, you've lost the argument and that's why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely, because at that point you're just like you're throwing anything at that point that would just have them.
Yeah.
That would just land.
I
it's
don't
like
know.
sit down, you're done.
It just seems really shitty to make fun of someone for them like that, especially over something so small like a new worker messing up his training.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Melissa, do you have any hardcore retail stories?
Well, the only retail job that I really worked was I worked at a movie theater. And so we just got a bunch of fucking rednecks coming in with their children, like fat, huge ass rednecks, and we just be like, "This show is supposed to be out at this time. I want to speak to your manager." And my manager is just like, "Cool, okay, go." They're like, "It was on this," and then we just make fun of them. It's like, "You're a fat, dumbass bitch. Go." Like, that's the best story.
I think.
I'm just thinking of one specific story, and that's why.
See, I mean, like it's all the obscure stories. Like
Yeah.
the only story that I can remember, like I've dealt with like every facet of retail, from people like screaming at me to people being like the most sweethearts. I think the oddest thing that I've ever like come across was someone trying to barter with me. over at Macy's over coupons. Now, everyone knows that, like, if you're if you're in the Macy's retail world, you understand that you have different tiers when it comes to coupons. And if you're like a Macy's black card holder, you get different coupons from the red card holders. And everyone knew that. And that's why they were so gung-ho on getting like these black coupons, but they couldn't because they weren't at that level. Now, I had a woman walk up to me in women's shoes, and she's like, hey, I'm going to buy these shoes. And I'm like, okay, who is helping you, X, Y, and Z? And then I started to get the transaction going and stuff. And she goes, hey, do you have a $20 coupon there? And I'm like, no, I don't. Now, the coupon that she had was going to take off, like, let's say 20% of X amount. It was going to take off, like, $5. And she says, like, well, you know what? I'll give you this 20% coupon, and you can hold on to it in exchange for a $20 one. And I'm like, I'm not Wayne Brady, and this is not let's make a deal. You're not getting this coupon, and I don't owe this to you whatsoever. And, like, she got pissed. She's like, I've been shopping at Macy's. I'm like, well, if you did. And that's the one line that Matt, when you said at Guitar Center, when people drop the line, like, I've been shopping here for X, Y, and Z. It's just like, oh, I didn't know you were a fucking stockholder and you were the CEO, and, like, you actually physically pay my paycheck.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
Yep. People do try to barter with me. They're like, all right, well, if I buy this extra thing, can you throw in this extra thing? And I'm like, literally, no. This is a corporate store. Literally.
Actually, never.
God.
Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what other store people go into, and they're just like, you know what? Like, if they go to, like, a Wawa or, like, a 7-Eleven, they're like, well, you know what? You told me I couldn't get these 6 bottles of water. So instead of these 6 bottles of water that cost the same price as 2 sodas and a hot dog, how about I get a bag of chips? And like, no, there's a price tag. Pay that amount, get that item.
Yeah. Oh, customers just get so mad.
Like an Israeli bazaar. Like this is not a side street in the middle of Cairo. Like we are actually in a mall.
Yep. I used the analogy to a farmer's market. Like, this is not a farmer market. This is Guitar Center.
Will also be yes.
Yeah. Would be a less racially jarred analogy.
I have no idea why. Well, I mean, like, Israeli. I was thinking like Indiana Jones in that one scene. There are a bunch of swords. And they're like apples and shit. I'm sorry if I
am
anybody.
not offended.
James, get on that. James, you might want to. All right. Let's just go right into the interview. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
But all right, no, we're actually just gonna jump right into the interview. I mean, we have some awesome things to talk about that happened this week. Ever since we changed the show to Thursdays, news has just been happening recently, so that's a cool thing. But we'll get into news and current events right after we get done talking to Matt about Salitter. So, sir, hello, how's it going?
Oh, it's going.
It's
going.
It is going.
Like I said, retail and everything else is making it tough to, get practice in and see the band and get it together. But we're doing it. We're committed to this life, and we know we got to do it, or else we're gonna end up like the countless other bands that just fizzle themselves out, and none of us want that. So we're doing it. We're doing good.
Well, I'm glad that you possess the determination to get it to take your band seriously and to make it all that it can be. To kick off this interview, for the listeners and viewers at home, if you can just go over your position in the band that you are in, and a brief history of the band, and then we'll go through and ask questions in the order that I see, which would be James, Melissa, and then myself, and we'll continue on from there.
All right, cool. So my name is Matt. I'm the guitarist and co-vocalist in Salitter. Notice I said co-vocalist. Our bassist also does plenty of the vocals. He would really like me to let you guys know that, because he likes to consider himself the lead singer. I just can't. Anyway, so our brief history of the band being, so the drummer and I have actually known each other since middle school. We used to work on projects together back in the day, and we would just destroy them. We like A+ projects, middle school, and then I ran into him at a venue called The Space 2.5 years ago, and I was like, yo, so I just started playing guitar, and he is like, oh God, wait, no, this was 4 years ago then. Playing drums, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm trying to like, make a pop punk band kind of thing. That's why I'm learning, because I like singing, I like writing lyrics. And he's like, dude, sick, let's make a pop punk band together. Came home that semester from college, got it together, and then we're like, shit, we need a bassist. And we're like, where are we gonna find a bassist? None of our friends play bass, so we did the bold thing and we went to Craigslist.
Oh,
And yeah, that's how we met our bassist Dan, and he hasn't murdered us yet. We're still waiting.
that's good.
Um,
That's good.
and ever since, we've just been writing shitty pop punk songs, slowly trying to make them with more and more substance and more feeling. And because we are all pretty sad middle class white boys that are just like need to express our emotions, and this is how we like to do it.
Sounds very accurate.
Yeah.
So you guys released Safe Away from the World Outside of the Summer, which is a great record, by the way. Everyone here that is listening should pick it up. But how was the reaction towards that so far?
Toward it so far has been actually pretty minimal, just because we haven't been playing too many shows, just because we've been doing maybe one a month since the release, just like local shows at our venue, like I mentioned before, the Space. I also work there doing sound, and I like that job exponentially more. But it's a real cool place, but it just much anymore, unfortunately, just because people don't like to come out and support local bands, and that's why our show coming up is like so important to us, because it's like we did something and it's there and it's at this place, it's at our home, and so that's what we're really hoping for, to get like our record off the ground, is get people at that show to check out our record, really enjoy it, stuff like that. We really the record has gotten plays on YouTube and Bandcamp, but nothing too significant. We're really hoping to push it. We kind of put it out and we're like, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is, and then we all got really busy and just couldn't keep up with promoting it and getting it to places that people could see it.
Nice. What does the demographic of your viewers look like? Are they from the local area, or are they from
Yeah, mostly. So it's
worldwide?
mostly people that come out and see us at the Space, and then see us out on bills with their friends' bands, and then come back and they're like, oh shit, these guys are awesome, and then we make friends with them, and then they keep coming back, because
Excellent.
most of our fans are our friends, and it's not
Okay.
because we have friends that we get to come see our shows. It's friends that we made in our scene that support us, and we support them. If they're in a band, we try to make out to their shows and try to make our shows their shows, so that way it's always a win-win for us.
And in your opinion, how is your scene? And what would you do to improve your scene if you could?
Uh, the scene it's coming up. It was very non-existent before we started, and then us and a couple other bands from the area really started playing out more, and we all put out records at like the same time, and came through that we were all able to like share spots on, and so each of us have been like slowly making names for ourselves, and trying to really get it up there, and work with each other to get up there. So the scene is growing. It's not big. It's Connecticut, and so many people are into just electronic music and just what's on the radio. And I've been begging like my friends that aren't really into pop punk and local music to listen to something new, because I promise you'll like it. Not everything is gold, and not everything is the most well produced thing that you're going to listen to, but listen to it, listen for the emotion, and listen for the things that people like you are putting into it. And it's not always the celebrities that are putting out the most important things.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a lot of people from the New England area, or just in the New Haven scene come out to see
Um,
you?
we have, so one of our friends, they're a band called Novelty. They're partially based in Massachusetts, otherwise from all around Connecticut. Our drummer Ryan is also playing guitar in their band right now because they are down guitarists. They had some member issues, but they're working it out. They're writing new material. It's all really cool. You guys should talk to them because they're some of the coolest people that we know. We just played with a band from Vermont. They're really cool. We've been trying to, get up there and play a show with them. It just hasn't worked out yet. But they've come through the space a couple times, and they're real cool dudes. Other than that, it's mostly, Connecticut bands that we play with. These guys call Anchors Away. Anchors Away, they're some of our best friends. Life on the Sidelines, they're really cool dudes. I can't keep shouting out names because then people are going to feel excluded when I forget them. And my short-term memory is just...
Same.
So yeah.
I got you. Same. Yeah. So let's talk about how you got into pop punk, because I know that you're trying to encourage your friends to get into the scene by trying something new. And how was your introduction into trying that new thing? What was your first taste of pop punk?
Oh, my first pop punk album I ever owned was "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket" by Blink. It was actually my neighbor, who was a couple years older than us. He had it. And it was like, I listened to it and I'm like, this is sick. I want this. I made my mom buy me it. Of course, she got me the edited version because I had to have been 7 or 8. When did that come out? Oh, I hate myself for not knowing. Anyway.
I want to say 2002. I'm not positive though.
Yeah.
It was
So
definitely
maybe I
early
wasn't
2000
7 or
album.
8. So maybe I wasn't 7 or 8, and that was definitely my first pop punk album that I ever owned. Even though, that Blink never called it pop punk, they were just crappy punk rock. And there's a difference. There's not a difference. People get way too into their own labels, and other people are like, it's not pop punk, it's punk rock. Dude, it's just pop punk before pop punk was words. Shut up. And I'm like, whatever. I enjoy it. And then before that was just from the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. Just the soundtracks to those games were just, I don't know, I can't tell how many times I listened to all of them, and just from playing the game so much, I'll still take any you on for you if any of you are down for the challenge. I don't know, are there even any games that are compatible with online play? Other introduction to pop punk.
Yep.
That seems to be like a common thing, especially with the Tony Hawk series. It's very funny. A lot of people that we've talked with have always said a constant has either been the staple pop punk bands like Blink-182 or Tony Hawk, and that's why when they came back, and when State Champs jumped on the soundtrack among other bands that had jumped on the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack, it was more of an ode to those artists and the original punk stuff, ska stuff, I don't know how much heavy metal stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, the new game sucked.
Did it? I didn't
True.
even
Yeah.
Awful. So fucking bad. And it sold really poorly too, so it was just a total failure.
But hey, guys,
the
you know
old
what?
games?
What?
There are HD versions of Tony Hawk, which I would definitely suggest before you buy the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater. But keep in mind, you can't get Lil Wayne as a downloaded character if you get the HD version. So
I don't think anyone should buy the new Tony Hawk game at all because it's trash. But
yeah, but no.
that shit almost broke my ass. I hear silence.
So James, yeah.
All right, so
I can't think of any other things.
so
definitely.
moving on to a different topic. Influences tend to be out a lot when you listen to stuff. Who would you say some of your biggest influences besides the Holy Blink-182 would be for your band? Once you come back from the dark that you're in, I think he's trying to become a sworn-in member. Maybe.
What?
Alright, your screen. Okay, now you're back. Cool. Your screen was black for a minute.
Oh,
Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Did you hear the question that I asked you?
No, James is very, very drowned out.
So, what are some of your influences with this new band besides the Holy Blink 182?
Definitely a lot of really early Fall Out Boy, Take This to Your Grave from Under the Cork Tree type stuff. Um, I'm I'm really big on Taking Back Sunday and Brand New. I know that that's like, but fuck you, they're both good. Um, all right, someone has called me like 3 times in a row. I want to hope it's not an emergency. You guys mind real quick?
Nope, absolutely not.
Go for
All right.
We'll put you on mute.
Let me just answer it real quick. I'm just gonna mute my mic.
All right. So
What's
if
up,
we
dude?
had hold music, we would be playing it right now. But we kind of don't. So what do you guys think about Blink-182 and the punk scene?
They're my favorite.
Are they? That's great. I'm glad to hear it.
Obviously, I think.
I mean, we can quickly talk about like the importance of Tony Hawk and the Pro Skater series within the punk generation, because like that really did play a huge role in kids getting exposed to new music. Because I mean like if I always attribute like my early punk interests to the game Grind Session, which had the first song off the first level was No Effects Linoleum. And I'm pretty sure everyone's heard the story like a billion times, but that was my introduction to punk.
I mean,
I think.
All right, I'm back. I don't know what it was. Now they didn't answer. They're going to call me in like a minute, and I'm just going to... Anyway,
so go on with your bad self. Where were we?
oh, we're on influences? So when we went into the studio, our producer asked us, it was like, all right, so what do you guys want this record to sound like? And pretty much unanimously, we were all like, I guess the best comparison we could get would be, if Take This to Your Grave was recorded by a 3-piece. And that was literally what we said to him, and he's like, okay, yeah, we can make that happen. And there we have our record. And it took us... we started recording in November. We finished recording in late April. It took way longer than it needed to, but we're pretty happy with it. You can definitely hear like a little bit of Brand New in there that I tried to throw in. Our drummer was in a hardcore band. I don't know. They get weird about their labels. He was in a hardcore band, drummer, before he was the drummer in our band. So he definitely brought a little bit of that. He plays open-handed, which I find to be really cool. So he plays open-handed, double bass style, but really he tries not to just chill too much, except for when we really need him to. So that's really cool. So he has lots of different influences based on that kind of thing. Our bassist Dan he also gets a little harder with his preferred tastes, but he also goes really weird. Like for the past month, he was trying to get us to cover Hey Ya by Outkast at our show. And I was like, Dan, we can't. I hate that song with a burning passion after the 8,000th time I heard it in 2003, so we can't. So it really varies. We like to have a lot of fun. We like to not be, too only pop punk. We only listen to State Champs and Taking Back Sunday, and that's it, and everything else is garbage. We try not to do that. Me personally, I've been listening to, since I work at the Space, I see a lot of local bands come through, so I buy a lot of CDs. And since my car only plays CDs, I don't have a way to play MP3s in my car, so I end up listening to a lot of local band shit in my car, and I've gotten way too into a couple bands that just no one has ever heard of.
Hey, what are some of those bands, if I can ask?
Name drop.
All right. There's this band called This Good Robot. They're from Long Island.
Oh, that's.
They are the coolest band I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, they're.
We got to play with them. a couple of years back, and then after that, I got their CD, and I played it like twice a week in my car until I just wore out the CD. Literally, it like skips because of so many times I played it. This band called The Traditional. They're from upstate New York. They're really cool. They're kind of like a. Do you know them?
Yeah,
James?
no, they played my college last semester.
Yeah, they're really good. I love their sound. They've been really good. So they're kind of like a darker emo with rock and roll, and I really enjoy it. This band called Molly's Worst Enemy I've been really into lately. I think they broke up, but they were pretty good. I don't even know where they were from, but they just came through, and they were kind of they had like weird ambient background music, but with heavy vocals, and it all worked together really nicely. And I wish it was something that I could write, but I definitely can't.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. And I think that unless you have any more, and or unless anyone wants to jump in with another question.
Yeah, yeah. And so I know obviously when you're an artist, you have a lot of music, musical and artistic influences, but are there any external influences that aren't surrounded by the arts that can be perceived in your work, either musically or lyrically? Um,
Um, that's tough because it definitely is. It's definitely just more subconsciously. Um, like obviously, just my plain old life is just I try to put that into my lyrics as well, aside taking other people's emotions that reflect my own that I enjoy listening to in their music, and then putting that into mine. I really try to look at myself and see what I can do and what I can create based on what I'm feeling at whatever time, from not being able to get out of bed in the morning to you know just like the anger of how some people annoy me with the way that they operate in the world. Um, but as far as anyone that goes in terms of influencing me as a specific person, um, my friends are always there for me as far as pop punk things go to say. They really are though. They're always it's pretty obvious whenever I'm down, and my friends are always there to help, and they love to, and I hate to take their help because then I wouldn't be able to be sad anymore, which is kind of the thing that propels pop punk, is like you need to be sad, and no matter how much you're gonna let it out, if you let it all out, then where are you? And so it's tough because you want to be happy, but you're also like, I need this because it's part of who I am, and when you let that ingrain in yourself, then it becomes a problem, and then you become me, and don't be me. I think I just took that question in a totally different direction than it was asked.
Well, no,
No,
I
it's
mean,
all
Other
good.
it still does come from like your lyrical inspiration. So like, and that's how you're able to
Yeah.
write and produce your music, right?
Yeah. I also watch a lot of TV and a lot of movies, and I try to take that and focus on, the pacing of TV shows. Like, how is that paced, and how does that translate to music? And it's like, okay, there's this part, and then there's this part, and then there's a dip, and then there's a climax, and it all works the same way. And when you start to observe the world in that kind of manner, you can increase your creativity and increase the quality of the product you're putting out.
Exactly. It kind of comes down to when you're given a restriction, that's when your creativity starts to flourish.
Right.
So so let's just like kind of delve into your creativity and where it kind of like stems from. How did you even get into music to begin with? I mean, like I know you're a lyricist. You play lead guitar.
Yeah, I'm the only guitarist. We're just a three-piece, so I am lead, but mostly it's just rhythm. I don't have too many lead parts because I'm not great at singing and playing at the same time. I'll admit that. And then when I watch this interview back in 5 years, I'll be like, psh, this Fall of Troy. This is a song by Fall of Troy. I'm gonna sing and play at the same time.
Well, there you go. See, but so
No.
I mean, like, so where did your like interest of music stem from?
All right, so after my freshman year in college, I had this job where I worked at Quinnipiac University doing. I was a maintenance assistant, which basically meant I was an assistant janitor. So I actually worked in the library, walking around, cleaning glass, vacuuming, doing stuff. And while I was doing that, I would just walk around with my headphones in, listening to just entire discographies of bands at a time. And I'd be like, this is incredible. Listening to albums at the time is so much better than, listening to a song on the radio and then moving on to the next thing. So I got into that, and then I was listening to a lot of Taking Back Sunday at the time, a lot of the Red Hot Chili Peppers at the time, and so I was getting more into like really interesting lyrics, and I'm like, should try writing my own. It's just a shame I can't play guitar and I don't know how music works. So then I was like, all right, I need to start learning how to do this, and then I met some guys at school. I was like, all right, you need to teach me how to play, because they were just phenomenal musicians. They're another great band that you guys should talk to. They're not a pop punk band by any means. They're definitely more of an experimental jam, prog, psychedelic band, but they're amazing musicians, and I had them teach me how to play. They got me started. I started working on, playing some Blink and getting the power chords down and everything like that, and then wrote my first couple songs, took them to Ryan, our drummer, and went from there. And we started writing songs. I was writing lyrics before I could write songs, and I was like, I don't know what to do with these. I need to do something with them. So I started writing songs.
Nice.
No, I mean, like, how's the transition from writing?
Yeah.
Just like
Basically,
basic.
I don't know if you guys.
Where I think I may be on a delay. I heard. I don't know if you guys have heard.
I think I lost you. I think we lost Ollie.
Oh man.
Transition
Hello?
from
We're all in this together.
my brain.
Hello?
Huh? Yes.
All right, am I here?
I'm here.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So I mean, you were continuing with your point of writing the music and like curating it until it became like a song and stuff along the lines of that.
So really not that good at it, to be honest with you. My method is to, pick a couple chords, write the lyrics first, pick a couple chords, and then basically smush them into it in a melody that makes sense with the inflection and then also sounds good.
Bare bones of any song at that point. So
really, it's to me like working with words, and then so like I'll get the idea down and I'll be like, all right, this is the sentiment that I'm feeling, these are the words that I want to use, and then I'll take them and be like, all right, these need to match up. I want to rhyme these two words. I don't want to rhyme these. I want to just like let this go and like let this be just like a melody. It doesn't have to rhyme. Fuck you, it doesn't have to rhyme. And then I'll be like, all right, and then why isn't it fitting? All right, can I flip some words? Can I use some prepositions? Can I, how do I fit the syllables in? And that's a really fun process for me. That's something I really enjoy doing as someone that, studied journalism and went to school for writing. Now I'm all about that. That was really, I don't know, it appealed to that stems from as a kid.
there you go. And how does that how does the rest of the band kind of fit alongside your writing style?
It's tough. So, because we usually all just write our own songs and then just go, here it is, here's all of it, and then. So what I usually do is I usually write the guitar parts and the vocal parts for whatever songs I'm writing, and then I'm like, all right, you guys, figure it out, find something that fits, do something, fun that's going to keep it interesting for you, because I want you guys to like this song too. I wrote it for me, but I want you guys to like it too. So I usually let them write their own parts. A couple of our songs, our drummer just wrote all the parts for it, and then he's like, go nuts with the vocals, and then I write some vocals, run it by him, and he's like either yay or nay, and that's what he likes to do because he doesn't like writing lyrics, he doesn't like singing, so he's like, here's all the instruments as is, write some lyrics. And Dan will, for the most part, he'll write most of my guitar parts on any songs that he's writing, and I usually like them, so it's not usually an issue. And it's usually something that I get to either rock out really heavy to. I think Dan usually writes the heavier songs of on the album, and there's not really too many complaints. We're really critical of ourselves. We're really like, I think we can do better than this. Whenever we get a song together, that's like, yeah, I really like it, but I don't like this aspect of it. I think it needs something like this, and we're really critical, and we're really critical about everything we do in that sense, in terms of scheduling shows, buying t-shirts. We had like a 2.5-hour conversation the other day about buying t-shirts and like what we wanted on them and what we wanted them to represent and like how they portray us as a band and what kind of money we have and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're all really critical of ourselves, and it all meshes together with the songwriting process, which we feel like gets us a good product at the end of the day.
Well, there we go. There we go. All right, boss, you're up, sir.
I think he's muted.
Sorry, zoned out for a big second. But so where do you exactly want your band to go from here? Like, what are the new milestones that you hope to achieve over the next several months or years?
Really, we just want some more recognition. We want people at our shows that have never seen us before coming to see us for the first time because they like our record. We always get the people that, come and see the other bands. They're our friends. There are other bands that we've played with that, come to support us and stuff like that. We want to start getting more and more people that have, checked us out online, heard the word of mouth from their friends, and get themselves to the show to see us play because they want to be there, not because anyone guilted them into being there or anything like that. Other than that, I mean, if we could play a show with any bands that like Knuckle Puck or around them in the future, that would be incredible. Tomorrow we're playing our first sold out show, and I can't. If we could do more of that, I would be the happiest person in the world, because
I mean,
for me the big thing with this band is
the start of many.
Yeah. And we get people tomorrow that have never heard of us that are like, whoa, that was fucking sick. Then I'm going to be like, oh my God. When people come up and they compliment you on your music and something that you've created, it's literally the best feeling in the world. And that's all I've really wanted from the beginning was, I've listened to so much pop punk in my life that has got me through some hard times. And that was one of the things of why I started writing. It was like, if I could help one person the way that this music helped me, then God damn it, I'd be pretty damn happy.
Nice.
So if someone comes up and they compliment my music, I'm like, first of all, are you serious? Second of all, that's awesome. We actually just had a situation not too long ago where a band came through. I'm not naming names this time. And one of my friends was like really into them. He's a really big fan. And, he got to meet them because our venue is really small, and he's just, he went up to them and was like, hey, my name's this. I've been a big fan of you guys all the time. Like, your lyrics were my senior quote in the yearbook. And they just straight up laughed at him. They laughed at him. And I'm just like, I wasn't there. Part of me wants to still believe that it wasn't out of malice and it wasn't them being dicks. It's just like them being like, oh my God, are you serious? That's so flattering. But I don't think it was, and that's how the kid took it. And I'm just like, no artist should ever be that way when someone compliments you on your music.
It's so fucked up.
It kills me, and I don't think anyone should. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that.
But so that I never wanted to be that way, and I think that if I don't know if I'll ever see you guys again, but if you guys ever see me being that way, like, permission to take me out, for real.
Oh, I'll
Oh,
check you.
yeah.
Don't worry.
Please.
I'll keep
We
in touch.
have this on live air that like
Mm-hmm.
so listening.
Sorry.
We have like live evidence of him.
We have just like
Yeah,
recorded
right.
like
Yeah.
in
Oh,
case
yeah.
ever that just happened, we'll call you out and then refer you back to this episode.
This'll
We've got
this'll
your
hold
back.
up in a court of law, right?
This will hold up in a pop punk court of law. Don't you worry.
Sounds about right.
So
Yeah.
let's kind of wrap this up and let's talk about the new album that you guys have put out in correlation to the show that you guys are going to be putting on tomorrow. So you're playing with some pretty well-known people.
Yes. Oh, we're playing Seaway, Light Years, and Knuckle Puck. We got on that show. Basically, the promoter did us a huge favor. We just kept bothering him. We were on top of that shit. We were like, hey, any news on this? Hey, any news on this? Hey, any news on this? And he's like, nope. All right, maybe. And then he's like, we need a good promotion plan. We need all this stuff. You guys really got to be on this if we're going to do this. And we're like, yes, we got it. We're doing it. And then from there, it was just like all smiles and it's so many people that we owe favors to. But, we feel like we deserve this. We've put in some serious dues and we're so excited. Like I might honestly piss myself tomorrow on stage. I really don't know what's gonna happen because
like you said, it's not without hard work and determination from from your guys' end.
Yep. And we're so excited to be playing with Knuckle Puck because we know guys love them. We know people love Seaway. They've come to the space before. There was a great turnout for them, and they blew me away with how well their sound was. The space itself is a pretty tough to mix yourselves on stage and know what you're doing. And when bands can do that and they can do that well, they have my respect as as a band member and as a sound guy. Like your band is tight when you can sound good in a small venue that can't do you too many favors.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So I'm really excited for all those bands to come play. Because they're going to sound incredible.
So speaking of people that are going to go and play, we're actually going to be showcasing a song of yours. This might be a song you guys will play tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're going to play this tomorrow.
All right, now if you want to introduce the song.
All right, so this song is called Madness. This was one of the songs that, like I mentioned before, our drummer wrote all the instrumentals to, and then he basically handed over and said, all right, write the vocals. And I'm like, all right, this is it's an aggressive song. It's really aggressive. What gets me angry, and really at that time and still is one of the things that gets me most angry is my lack of motivation and just the hatred for myself when I can't get myself, literally can't get out of bed to do things that I know I want to do, but I'm just it's not worth it. So this song is about getting through that, and it's about really just self-reflection on your self-loathe and working through it. And so you can roll it if you like.
All right, Madness, Salitter.
Whoop!
It's like my feet are made of lead. My hands is anchored to my bed. Go fuck yourself, invented God. I'm still a man that got this hard. I can make a living taking ditches. Look at this hole I dug myself. It's a tube for all my demons, a pit for all my witches. Breathe to not break through the sky of hell.
all been pretty depressed lately, wondering how we've ended up where we are, questioning the choices we made that led us there. Did we miss something critical while we were staring at the clock? Is it okay to feel regret for how we once felt? To feel like we wasted our time enjoying ourselves? We should have been enriching ourselves? Are we the ones responsible for our faults? I can make a living digging ditches. Look at this hole I dug myself. It's a tomb for all my demons, a pit for all my witches. Pretty soon I'll break through the sky of hell. I can't believe the man I've become. I like all the things I need to survive. What are the things that keep me numb? Stay away from the world outside. All I want is someone to hear me, to find some meaning in these words. I can't move on with all these feelings, and all the failure makes it worse. I can't believe the man I've become. I like all the things I need to survive. What are the things that keep me numb? Stay away from the world outside. All I want is someone to hear me, to find some meaning in these words. I can't move on with all these feelings, and all the failure makes it worse.
All right, so that was Madness. I have to now wait until everyone becomes unmuted.
I'm here. It's
Oh,
good.
there's Melissa.
Floppy.
It
I
was
should
sick.
be
It
back.
was, it was very sick. So I mean, like, and so you're gonna be premiering that in front of, like, well, not premiering, but I mean, like, showing that to a bunch of, like, new fans and a new audience, in which, like, hopefully they'll, like, get hooked onto the Salitter sound.
Yep. So we never actually got to have like a real album release show because it just didn't work out with the way that we were scheduling shows at the time, and it got pushed back, and then shows got canceled. So this is going to be like the biggest premiere that we've had for it, and awesomely at the same time, tomorrow it's going to be available on Spotify and iTunes, so everyone can go home and be like, oh shit, what was the name of that band? And then go on Spotify and be like, oh shit, they exist. And I'm like, yeah, what
Yeah,
up?
we're a thing. Yeah,
And like that's
word up.
So that's a really big thing for us, is that like, because getting it on Spotify and iTunes and stuff like that was like, it was really weird because the like TuneCore and CD Baby, I actually took the time to read through their terms of service and everything just to make sure, like, this is our stuff. Like, you can't just hand this over to someone and have them screw us over with it. So I read through all that stuff, and I'm like, damn, they really have so much control over artists' music and stuff like that, because they need the ability to, alter your music, and by that they mean, chop it up to make the 30 seconds iTunes preview and stuff like that. But the way it's worded is, it would hold up in a court of law, because they have the ability to alter, reproduce, and sell your music for profit without paying you anything. They pay you for the streams that you get, and they pay you on their terms. So I was like very skeptical about that at first, but we found a way to get it up, on our own terms, and we're really happy about that. And it's going to be available for everyone to listen to, so you can listen to it at actual quality whenever you want to. It's all on our Bandcamp for free and stuff like that. I think we're going to sell our CDs for probably $5 tomorrow. We are not Guitar Center, so if you guys try to haggle with us, we may be able to give you a discount.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're real excited.
Well, and
About
I'm
the
very
record.
excited.
That's probably one of my
because
favorites.
it's a brand new venture. It's a bigger thing what you guys are used to, and bigger things are beautiful. So, like,
Yep.
hey, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun for you guys, and so I hope all the best for your show tomorrow. I am definitely going to be sharing anything more that you guys if you guys were to share anything on social media, just send it our way. We will be automatic in sharing it and it will be a beautiful thing, and we will look forward to anything that you guys be putting out.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So that kind of wraps up the interview that we have for young Padawan Matthew.
Yeah.
So at this point, I would tell everybody that, hey, this episode was sponsored by X, Y, and Z. That spot still pretty vacant. If you guys are looking for any sponsorship opportunity through Babetalk, send me an email at ollie@babetalk.tv, and we are sure to work something out. Just like Guitar Center, we haggle with the best of them, and so far, we're not haggling with nobody. So
Yeah.
come holler at a nigga. We'll work something out. So let's play the role of John Oliver, and let's play Last Week today. We're looking at a bunch of different shit today. I mean, like today alone, it's been a pretty interesting music week. We have the death of festivals. We have the revival of certain pop punk entities. I mean, like, what's actually going on? We have James? What the hell's going on here this week?
All right, so I guess let's start off with the death of.
Let's start off with the bad news, and then let's work on to the good.
Two festivals took kind of big hits this year, one bigger than the other. Not only is Skate and Surf being pushed back, Skate and Surf, if you don't know, is generally a huge festival in the New Jersey area that was basically bamboozled for a while and has featured lots of bands reuniting over the times. Like last year, Rice and Poison the Well, except he's not back together.
Yeah, and a lot of new wave bands have been like a part of that. Like we had the Story So Far headline. We had the Firm Bottoms had headline. A bunch of other ones that kind of played, and I'm blanking on a lot of names. But I mean, like Skate and Surf is a tradition that's been ever since Bamboozle kind of kicked the can 3 years ago. Skate and Surf found its way back in.
But
and now that's being threatened by lack of ticket sales, just kind of like the one in Australia.
No real reasons have been given, but it's being pushed back to the fall. And instead, the person that booked Skate and Surf has booked another festival that is kind of like New York's version of Rock on the Range, which is a 3-day festival featuring a lot of radio rock bands. The festival is being headlined by Five Finger Death Punch, which is the worst fucking band in the entire world, at least in my opinion. But, there's some scene representation. There's our good friends Currents, who you might have seen our episode with them a while back. They are on the festival.
Connecticut.
Is on the festival. Diode is Murder, Weekend is Romans. But yeah, it just kind of seems like a weird blow to the urgency, because that has been.
I mean, it's weird. I mean, especially with the threat of different festivals closing, Skate and Surf. The one in Australia just totally fell on its face, and it was just look, we owe close to $4 million worth of debt to different artists and venues. That's insane. And now we just had the announcement of Warped Tour, and now we're hoping that Warped Tour is going to get the same popularity as it has been in the past few years. But I honestly think that Warped Tour might be taking a hit as well. Are festivals kind of going by the wayside here, guys? I mean, it used to be that festivals used to be a wonderful big thing that we would all go and hang out at, especially Warped Tour. But I think it might be a dying spectacle. I mean, does anyone want to weigh in and begin to give a comment on it?
I want to finish the story because there's still one other festival I kind of want to bring into this. This isn't just a U.S. problem. In Australia, there has been a huge festival called Soundwave Fest that has been going on for the past 15 years, but the festival got announced its cancellation today because the festival owes $3 million to separate bands that were put for 2015 edition, and because of very low ticket sales because of a weaker 2016 lineup, and it's just not exactly the best situation for festivals right now. Very weird day. It kind of brings us back to what Ali was saying before.
Yeah, so I mean like it's not. I mean, like I don't know. Like I would definitely say that it's definitely taken a hit. Like I'm not sure when we started saying like oh it's like meh to hang out. But I mean like I know that it's always been fun to hang out at festivals. You get to see a lot of different bands that you don't really get to go to. It's like a mini vacation, like kind of like a staycation because you get to go see some bands that you don't usually see. It's a big party. It's in your area. All your friends go. If you're like, if you're tight within a scene, and then there's one big festival that goes, most likely you're all going to go as a squad and like go hang out. I mean, Matt, are festivals like a thing that you guys go to in your area?
Really, everyone skips Connecticut. Connecticut gets so screwed because they're like, oh, well, there's New York and there's Boston, so drive 2 hours at least, and then you can go to a festival. Except for Warped Tour, which does come to Hartford, which
Yeah.
Everyone, all of our friends go to Warped Tour, but it's always like, oh, you gonna go to Warped Tour? Maybe. All right, well, let me know. I'm probably gonna buy my ticket soon. And it kind of just goes like that, unless someone really big and worth it's playing. Which for me, so get me one person to go as a reason to go to Warped Tour. That's still like what maybe a $50 expense to go see a good show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, like last year, Neck Deep was playing, and I was like, I really don't need anyone other than Neck Deep right now to get me to go to Warped Tour because I will go anywhere for that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, and then you get to go, and our drummer is like, he got real big into Moose Blood and Citizen.
Okay.
And
great band too.
I was like, all right, I've never listened to him before, but I'll go check him out. I'll come check him out. That's been the biggest part of Warped Tour for me for the past 3 years was finding bands that I've never heard of before. Not
Good,
never heard
great.
of, but never listened to. Able to judge them by their live performance is like something I've, since being in a band, I've really started to take notice to. So I'll, like, even if I know, like, I know it's pretty taboo, but I saw 4 Year Strong and Bayside play a show, and I'd never listened to Bayside, like, ever. And then, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to go, and I'm going to judge them by their live performance, and then if I like it, I'll go home and I'll listen to their recordings. And they were pretty damn good, and they were tight.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Now I do have a question because you said like it's pretty taboo. With all the things that happened with Warped Tour last year, what would make listening to not brand new, those bands taboo compared to the other bands that were on Warped Tour last year?
Oh no, it was mostly taboo that I had never listened to Bayside.
Oh, to Bayside or 4 Year Strong. Oh, okay.
No,
Gotcha.
no, 4 Year Strong I love. 4 Year Strong is why I went. And then I was like, all right, I'll stay for Bayside. And because I'd never listened to him, then I was like, I'll give him a chance. That was my taboo.
Got you. Okay.
But taboo for Warped Tour, I mean, just guys keep getting in trouble. Like, holy shit! Stop in trouble. Your life is so good right now. Stop fucking it up. But then some of it is like bullshit. Maybe I'm a little biased. The scandal with Neck Deep's guitarist that happened earlier this year, where he, like, someone dragged up something from like 3 or 4 years ago that ruined his life. Their record just like hit like top 5 in like the London charts, and now you're out of the band because someone decided they were gonna fuck you up. And I'm like, that really sucks. Guys, stop getting in trouble. Stop doing shit that's
Well, I mean, just follow the law. I mean, like
Right?
it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it really goes back to the quote from Liar Liar, one of my favorite movies with Jim Carrey. If anyone has an opportunity, go watch the movie. There's a quote in which he picks up the phone, and I think his secretary goes like, "Hi, there's a burglar that broke into someone's home and broke his leg, and he wants some advice." And he looks at the phone and says, "Stop breaking the law, asshole." And basically, if you follow the fucking law, you're pretty much going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Neck deep. I mean, but then again, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the issue with Neck Deep is kind of up in the air. Was that ever confirmed or
Agreed.
denied whether or not he had done the things or not?
I don't think it. I think it had to do with like leaked photos. I think he.
No, yeah, like leaked
again.
photos and like conversations with underage girls.
It wasn't
Yeah.
ever denied, but it wasn't ever confirmed either. So it's
Yeah.
So it's just like an up in the air
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so it wasn't as bad as.
Yeah. As
There's
what's
no
his name?
hard evidence for it.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, like, just
Yeah.
guys don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
if you ever
exactly.
think to yourself, "Hey, will this get me in trouble?" Don't do it.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, granted, I'm
yeah.
poised with that question every day. Like, will this get me in trouble? So,
And
granted, I kind of look the bullet in the face, but I'm also not talking to underage girls. So, if you ever have to look at a girl and say,
Yeah.
"Will this get me in trouble?" That's when you say, "I should probably not do this." Will this get me on the front cover of of New York Times? That's when you should go and say, I should probably not do this.
Well, in what context?
But anyway,
being on the cover of the New York
Yeah.
Times would probably be pretty cool. But in the right lighting.
Agreed.
agreed. Don't talk to underage girls. That's pretty much the main focus. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's continue. So yes, festivals. So hype check. James, fun or no fun?
I mean, I love festivals, so I think they're very fun. I feel like I misunderstood what you said.
Well, I mean, like, would you still continue to go to a festival if Warped Tour would ever go to your town? If you had a East Coast festival that was exclusive to that town, would you go to it?
Yes, but I would also try my hardest to get into other options if there was several controversy surrounding the festival. Like,
Okay,
do a festival.
that makes sense. Matt, same question.
What?
Same question. Would you want to go to a festival that would be exclusive to your coast, or just like any kind of festival that would interest you at all? Would you still go?
As long as the lineup intrigues me, I'll do whatever. I'm down for a road trip. I just gotta have people with me that are willing to go. So it's tough because a lot of my friends aren't into pop punk and stuff like that, and there's only many pop punk festivals that come around. Warped Tour being probably the best one, and not even exclusively. So I have 5 or 10 people that I could take with me. But if you're down for a road trip, I'm down to go wherever. I definitely don't think they're changing. They're like electronic music festivals everywhere. People are nuts. People are junkies. They just festivals all the time, and I'm like, how can you live that way? First of all, second of all, who are all these bands? So there's like thousands and thousands of like electronic artists. I'm like, I've never heard a single one of these names. Granted, I feel that way about a lot of festivals, which is great for the artists. Probably not as good for the festivals because they're like, all right, we can get this many people, but I think the money would be better spent, paying a bigger artist to headline it, and that's what'll get people there, and that's what'll get people to. I missed him. Sorry, it was a mosquito.
I thought you were driving a point. Be like, that would be able to
I know.
get right in. I'm just like, whoa, all right.
Mosquito.
Turn real like business really fast.
I will kill you.
But so
It's gonna
Melissa,
bite me. It's gonna bite me in my sleep later. Sorry.
same.
That's what
So Melissa,
For me, I think it depends on the festival, but also because I do work in the local segment, I am more likely now to go into the local market than a wide tour festival. But it's super interesting because the past couple years when I'm on Warp Tour, it might be my age. Granted, I'm only 22, but I'm not sure if the demographic has changed or what. But now, whenever I go to Warp Tour, I feel like I should be working it. I don't feel
yeah.
like I should be there, and I think I'm not sure if to be completely honest, I actually have a 2002 compilation in my car, and it is straight up punk. It has Alkaline Trio, it has Tsunami Bomb, it has The Used, it has Taking Back Sunday, it has Movie Life on it, No Use for a Name, and to me, I see those bands as people used to, when they were in their late mid 20s, they listened to them. But now Warped Tour is starting to cater to like 15 to 16 to early 20s, and I feel like because a lot usually when you're younger, there's a lot more of a younger crowd because they're new and they're fresh, so they want to go. Because it's their first time. So I feel like I need to work it more than anything. So
Yeah.
I'm more apt to go to festivals that I know people. I know there's a festival called Mopop. I know the person that puts it on. I'm probably going to go to Mopop this year. Last year they had Modest Mouse, which I think was the big seller. But I go to that because I'm going to know people that work it or that are going to be there, or local festivals as well. But when it comes to festivals, I also think that there's an oversaturation in the market now. Like it used to, there used to not be that many festivals. Well, I remember Bamboozle, Bonnaroo, Warped Tour. That's all I remember. I mean,
Okay.
there used to be
Yeah.
like South by Southwest. Yeah. And now there is a bunch more other festivals, not just regional festivals, but during the summertime, there's like 10 different festivals coming on at the same time. And
Which I
that
mean,
can be
like,
over. Yeah.
yeah. But like the one
Mhm.
thing that, in which like I do like that brought up was the compilation CDs in which like people used to like
Mhm.
put all the bands on it at one time, and then that would be
Mhm.
how people used to like get to know the bands.
Yeah.
When we think of festivals, I mean, like I think we kind of forget that it comes down to we're getting to know new people, we're getting to know new bands. A lot of these bands that are being brought onto Warped Tour, they're not of a lower tier level. They're up there to be showcased because the promoter that's putting them on, and let's say in this case Kevin Lyman saying, "Yo, this band needs to be promoted for the better. Like, hey, we think it's gonna be good. You guys are gonna like this. Stop, listen, and be a part of it." And I think with just a lot of the way communication has been working on social media, we all kind of like just like dismiss the CDs and be like, oh, we'll listen to this one band later, or like we'll go for our favorite bands and we'll enjoy them, and then like that'll be it.
Mhm.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like I do hope that festivals still stick around for the simple fact that it gives us an opportunity to listen to new people. I mean, granted, of course, we will always have a staple band like Matt. You were saying Neck Deep that will
Yeah.
draw you in, but you have 7 hours to kill. And like me, way back in the day, I only used to go to Warped Tour for like, the Wonder Years, Man Overboard, Transit. And then like, I would go wander around and like I'll see something that like, like just like if you were to walk into a restaurant and you smell like, a beautiful, like, like, oh shit, I smell spaghetti. You're drawn to a certain band by their pop punk sound, and then like you stay and you watch their set, and like you figure out who they are, you go to their merch tent, pick up their CD, look at the Warped Tour compilation, listen to it, put it in the car on the way home. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So I am hoping, and a lot of other festivals work along that market line. They hope that like the reason festivals exist are to get exposure for other people. It's a whole big brouhaha of bands.
Yep.
That's how you get into them. So I do hope that festivals are going to continue to be pursued for quite a while, because like I mean like the one band one festival, Soundwave Festival over in Australia, it was set to go on, but due to their low ticket sales, it was just stopped. And like they owe like a astronomical amount of money, in which like they're just gonna have to go bankrupt, and then just like pray that there are no lawsuits that will like be able to inhibit them to ever like pursue another festival again. But I've seen some people tweet and say like I'm very sad that this festival's not going on anymore, because it kind of set the bar for festivals in Australia. So it's definitely like let's say that Warped Tour were to stop in the United States, it's kind of the same way for Soundwave in Australia. So like if we see that fail in one country, there's no way that it won't happen in, let's say, the UK, or let's say it won't happen in the United States. Like it's definitely a thing that we have to keep up, this festival culture, because if it doesn't, and like people just stop giving a damn, we're going to rely on social media, and social media is not going to be the only thing that will be able to push bands from now on. So
That's a good point, but I want to know why it was canceled. What it was just ticket sales, so people just didn't want to go see the bands that were playing.
Well, I mean, low ticket sales, and if you were to convert the amount of money that was owed from
Yeah.
Soundwave to American US, it would be somewhere around Donald Trump money, in which Donald Trump would be
They
like,
owe Slipknot $1.5 million, and they owe Soundgarden like $2 million.
yeah, it was a ridiculous amount of money. Like net total for just bands, I'm not exaggerating, 4.5, and I'm probably still like under the margin. Yeah. Like a stupid an actual metric fuck ton of money was owed
Like
from that.
the amount of money that would like cause a panic in like a Wall Street movie.
Yeah, like in that one scene where like in The Wolf of Wall Street where Leonardo DiCaprio and cast are just throwing papers in the air and just like screaming gibberish and shredding things like mindlessly. Soundwave. But hopefully, I mean, like, I really do hope that they get their shit together and, like, they emerge from this, because any festival like really goes down, that's a pain to all of us. That's one piece of music that won't be heard for an entire country. Like, they're not gonna have that festival, and that was their biggest festival.
Damn. And
I mean, not to like R.I.P., but I mean, like, fuck, that is a very hard hit.
Yeah.
like if that were to happen to Warped Tour, I would know exactly why. And I would know why people don't want to go to it, because so many people just shit talk Warped Tour from both ends. Like, oh, Warped Tour's not fucking punk anymore, it's just all hardcore bands, and then the hardcore kids are like, fuck Warped Tour, it's all pussy shit, and I'm like, guys, there's so many good bands on Warped Tour, what are you talking about? I don't get it.
There are, but like, let's hope that Kevin Lyman starts to listen to his public and starts to intertwine the two, because easily Warped Tour can combine the old heads and the Nuke Bucks. Easily. But hey, that's all the time we have on Babe Talk. I really don't think I've ever had a hard stop like this, but we've reached our time, and But hey, Matthew, tomorrow you have a show, and it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be really lit, and I really hope that you come back. If you have any photographers that capture the show, we will share it, because we're excited to be alongside the ride, alongside you, and we're happy to showcase you on our show. Madness was showcased earlier. If you guys had missed it, go and listen to Sadlitter's music on sadlitterct.bandcamp.com. As Matt said, tomorrow the music will be available on Spotify and iTunes, so you can go and look that up. Is there any more information that you guys want to, Matt, that you want to share with us that the band's working on, or anything along the lines of that?
Fuck.
Same.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'm out of shit.
No, I'm joking. Do you want to share some real info?
I think you got most of it, really. I should have came prepared for this. I don't know. No, really, man, you got it. You guys are great. Thank you so much for everything. Really, I don't even know what to say. I'm so flattered that you guys wanted to have us on. Thank you so much for all your help and everything. I really hope that you guys do genuinely enjoy the record. If you haven't listened to it all the way through, please do. If you really don't want to listen to it all the way through, listen to the first 3 songs, because they're actually my favorite.
And you heard it right from the horse's mouth. So again, guys, you want to go and listen to it, sadlitterct.bandcamp.com. They're going to be playing a great show tomorrow. Hopefully we'll hear some great things from them in the future. If you guys have anything more to share with us, please do not hesitate to share it with us at, us. I'm Ollie, James over there, Melissa's over there, and Matthew's over there. Hey guys, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you. Holy shit, in 2016. Wow. No.
Oh my gosh. No, we have one more show.
Wait. We do have next week. Next week
Tuesday.
On Tuesday, we have Pine. Not Pines, Pine from Illinois, and we will be talking with them with a lot of stuff that they have going on. And that will be our last show of 2015. So join us, and we will see you at that time next week. 9 o'clock. Hopefully,
All
maybe.
right.
I don't know. Welcome to Babetalk. Enjoy your night. Night, guys.